The overall market has now switched from focusing on altcoins to now focusing on what Bitcoin and Ethereum are about to do next. With Bitcoin surpassing over $100,000, yes, a lot of the attention is now starting to be usurped from altcoins to Bitcoin. But is this anything to be worried about? Are we concerned? Should we be worried about XRP? Well, we're going to be talking about it in this video. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. And right now is the best time to get in the free Discord. There's going to be a link down in the description below. Join the free Discord. You guys won't regret it. And with that being said, let's talk about what is happening. Bitcoin surpassing a $2 trillion market cap. Also breaking over one of the biggest psychological levels on Bitcoin. $100,000 was a very big psychological level. So I'm glad to see it finally breaking over it. The overall crypto market cap is up about roughly 4.39% in the last day, which might not seem like a lot, but guys, we are trading over $3.71 trillion. Also, volume is up almost 39%, sitting at about roughly $360 billion. Now, I know a lot of people have been pretty concerned because XRP is having a little bit of a sell-off. You know what's funny about this is, everyone is looking at the daily and saying, all right, well, these altcoins are now topped out. You might as well just sell them and move on. Listen, taking profits, I will never scold anyone for taking profits. In fact, I always encourage profit taking and getting your initial investment out as soon as you possibly can. But look at these altcoins in the last 30 days. HBAR, 550%. XLM, 431%. XRP, 361%. A pullback should be welcomed, not you shouldn't be running from a potential pullback, but we will definitely talk about it in this video. We'll address it as well, because I know that a lot of you out there are probably wondering, is XRP done? Is XRP topped out? Is the XRP run over? And again, I will address a lot of that in this video. Now, number one, like I said, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's overall trading volume surged today over 129%. It also started to break to an even higher level of almost $105,000. But do you see why it was important for Bitcoin to actually break over $100,000? Look at what happened the second that we broke over 100K. It immediately ran another $4,000. But the best part about this is Bitcoin dominance along with Bitcoin, which we will get to. Now, if we go over to XRP, trading volume is still pretty high. I mean, almost $5 billion. It's pretty significant for XRP in the last 24 hours, up about 15.75%. But the overall price definitely is having, a significant pullback. It's nothing too crazy to be concerned about at all, especially when you look at the 1 month. I mean, this looks like healthy price action, which again, we will talk about on the chart. But if we go over to Bitcoin, we could see the overall move here. And listen, guys, I have been charting Bitcoin for the entire year of 2024. Even going all the way back to March of this year. And, we were looking at Bitcoin quite a bit this year. Let me remove this. Let me recopy this. But we were looking at Bitcoin this entire year, just waiting for a significant breakout to happen. And if you guys have been following the channel for a while, then you already know how rough 2024 actually was for altcoins, which is why we were celebrating all these recent moves. It's because it was a dark year after March. I mean, for the most part, since March all the way leading up to about roughly the beginning of November, the altcoin market was basically dead. Now, as we look at this chart for Bitcoin, what was I looking at throughout the whole year of 2024? Just to kind of reiterate what we were looking for. Well, we have this low here. We have a higher or a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, followed by another lower low, all the way into, of course, August. Now, what happened after August, and this is exactly when everything flipped. This is exactly why, we were so bullish going into, pretty much September. It's because when we started to move to the upside, even though we have this lower high here, we started to regain a little bit of bullish structure leading into the beginning of September. This is when we actually had a higher low. We also had a higher high, followed by another higher low, again, another higher low, higher highs, and then that led us to the big breakout, of course, in the beginning of November. Now, as we look at Bitcoin today, well, it's a very similar overall structure here where we actually have a nice overall trading pattern here where we are in this wedge. We broke to the upside, found resistance right around roughly like 99.3K. You could argue, it's around roughly $100,000. We sold off, retested the bottom trend line, chopped a little bit, retested the bottom trend line, held it. This is very bullish. This is exactly what you actually want to see when you are looking at, trend lines or, you're following the trend. This is very good when you're retesting the trend line, holding it, maintaining it, because once we do retest that resistance level and we break out, guess what? That's very bullish. So right now, I'm very bullish on what Bitcoin is about to do. And on top of this, right, should we be bullish on altcoins during this time? Yes, we 100% should. When we look at Bitcoin dominance, guys, this thing has lost its trend, which means that this is actually weak. And I do believe that this is going to continue to sell off. But while this is selling off, what a lot of people are missing out on is the fact that Bitcoin is most likely going to continue to the upside. This is probably going to continue pumping to the upside. And yes, there will be pullbacks along the way. A lot of people are so, concerned about pullbacks or like corrections. Guys, the market is not going to go up in a straight line. Go all the way back and look at the last year. This is exactly what you actually want to see because, when we start to have the sell-off, right, you want to start to see bullish price momentum building again. Now, I don't think that we are going to go through 6 months or 7 months or so of, bearish price action or anything like that. But we will see pullbacks and they will scare the market. They will scare you because they will flush out a lot of the new investors. But the overall level that I'm really kind of watching for on Bitcoin is roughly 150,000 to 163.3K. This is a level that I feel very confident about de-risking from, this market, really kind of selling, having those profits on the sidelines just in case. We don't know what's going to happen. Typically, bear markets do happen a year after the market tops. Very clear sign. Go back to 2021 into 2022. But that's exactly what I'm really kind of looking for on Bitcoin. But while Bitcoin's moving to the upside, I am expecting Bitcoin dominance to move to the, downside, which is going to support altcoins to go, absolutely parabolic, aka we'll see the biggest alt season in history. And where does that leave XRP? Where does that leave all these other altcoins? Well, they're going to have a very significant surge. Now, why did XRP actually have a substantial sell-off? Well, on top of just the news of, all right, guys, RLUSD is going to launch today, aka yesterday, right? It was supposed to launch yesterday. Everyone was confirming this, right? This is from Cointelegraph, got 1 million views, massive engagement. Charles Hoskinson, who, is the creator of Cardano, he put out a thing saying excited about RLUSD. And then also we have breaking Ripple's RLUSD is officially launching today. So like everyone was anticipating the big launch. So a lot of people were probably, buying XRP, trying to trade XRP. And then we got the big news from Ripple saying, despite some speculation, RLUSD isn't launching today. We're in lockstep with the New York Department of Financial Services on final approval and will share updates as soon as possible. Now, this definitely led to some people selling off a bit because everyone acts impulsively and they're always looking for some sort of catalyst to push the price higher. But what's crazy about this is a lot of people weren't really kind of looking past their emotions. In the Discord, if you guys were in the free Discord, you already know that I was screaming, take profits. I mentioned it was like kind of memes, right? It was 2 meme gifs saying, take profits. If you don't take profits, someone else will. And that was when XRP was trading at about roughly $2 and like 80 some cents. And the reason why I said that is because the market for XRP, let's just be real here, was red hot. I mean, if we go and look at Google Trends, XRP here, it flipped Bitcoin. It flipped Bitcoin in terms of retail, focus. And then also, again, the interest here on XRP is just insane against Ethereum. So it was red hot. Even XRP itself, you could see it. This goes all the way back to like 2019. Everyone was messaging me, even in the, people that are not even in crypto, messaging me about XRP. Should they buy XRP? Is now a good time to buy XRP? And typically when we see that, we see a correction. It's so clear to me that when I start to see people that are not involved in the space, they don't really keep up with the space. When they are asking me to buy crypto, when they're asking me, if now's the best time to buy, when everything is surging, everyone's talking about it, you have mainstream media pushing it, that's typically the best time to start de-risking a bit, because it doesn't mean that we're close to the top of the cycle, but it means that we are at a local top for some of these projects like XRP. Now, as we look at XRP, this is what the overall chart looks like. Is XRP's run done? Is it finished? Like, the questions that I have been seeing is just wild to me. This doesn't mean that XRP's run is finished. I mean, if we really look at this, guys, the entire price move on XRP so far has been about 24.75. All right, here's the recent price action move before we actually start to pump, 21.81%. And also even down here, again, this was about 21.2%. XRP had some shallow pullbacks along the way to the level that we are at now. And this is after XRP has surged, over 491%. So if we're really kind of looking at this price chart, does this look like something that is topped out? No, it doesn't. It looks like a slight correction before a much larger move on the board. But the problem is that the indicators are definitely red hot. But if we go to the higher time frames, like the weekly, for an example, okay, I have been following the weekly for a little bit of time. We could still see that on the MACD, momentum is still there. There's still a lot of bullish momentum, even on this weekly candle. But as we look at XRP, everyone is questioning me like, hey, is this the top for XRP? Is the XRP top in? And if we're thinking about Bitcoin just breaking over $100,000, if we're thinking about Bitcoin dominance still dropping to the bottom, I don't think that the top is in for XRP yet. And the reason why I'm saying that is because even as we look at XRP, could this come down deeper? Yeah, 100%. This could still, come all the way down to roughly $1.96 and retest the 2021 highs, for an example. But ultimately, the level in which I am fully focused on when it comes to XRP, and if we actually go to the lower timeframes, like the 12-hour, for an example, the biggest level for me on this chart, and I actually think it's on the 4-hour, the biggest level for me to really kind of focus on when it comes to XRP is just really kind of filling this gap down here. And this is like right around roughly $1.95, $1.96 to like $2.08. If we fill that gap, are you going to be concerned? I know a lot of people out there will be concerned, but I wouldn't be concerned. And the reason why is that this is filling a fair value gap. Number one, it's retesting a significant high. But you could also see that bearish momentum, even on the MACD on the lower timeframes, like the 4-hour, is starting to die down, which means, we could potentially be at our bottom. Like, we could have solved the bottom already on XRP. The big thing is that, we have on the lower time frames, and this is exactly why I brought up the Bitcoin chart initially. We have this nice low here. Could this potentially be a higher low forming here? Could definitely be. The big thing that we want to see is taking out the previous highs, because we actually have to break over, these highs, put in some higher highs, and we want to actually see some higher lows in order to actually have bullish structure form on the chart. Right now, XRP's chart right now looks bearish until it doesn't. So I'm watching the indicators. So far, if we really kind of look back on the 4-hour and we go back to the recent pullbacks, like down here, the RSI is trailing just right around where we bottomed out back here. So are we close to the bottom on this XRP pullback? We definitely could be. Could we go a little bit deeper though? Yes, 100%. And I would welcome it actually. A lot of people are scared of, bearish price action, or, if the prices are going to pull back. I'm looking at this overall fair value gap down here simply because I do think that it would be very healthy. But if we actually look at even this fair value gap up here, we already filled that one. So overall, what should we be expecting on XRP? Well, if I were to say, hey, today might be a good day to look into XRP to buy, where would I want to be looking to buy XRP at? Well, ultimately, I would look for support. Support around $2.25 is a nice area to look at. But again, I can't recommend buying XRP today simply because we were buying at 50 cents. We were buying at 20 cents. We were buying at 30 cents. Like, when we think about XRP today, I think that a lot of people miss their opportunity to buy cheap XRP. But for me personally, until XRP actually surpasses this major key high, which is right around $2.49, almost $2.50. I am not going to get excited on price action for XRP because we want to break over this high. Until then, my big area to look at for potential buys is close to the 2021 high, as close to that 2021 high as we possibly can see. Because again, fair value gap down here, I mean, it's right around the 2021 high all the way to like $2.08. That's what I would be looking at if I wanted to like accumulate for a nice trade. I wouldn't be, looking to accumulate around those ranges for the long term unless, you really believe in it. But again, we were already buying low. I'm not going to increase my overall average, but I think that the last major step for us to really kind of get to that all-time high, retest the all-time high, break over an all-time high, which I do believe is going to happen on XRP, is really kind of just breaking over this $2 and like almost 50-cent level. And ultimately from there, we still look at clearing the recent high, which is around $2.90. So that's why, once we break this, it's going to happen very fast. It's very similar to Bitcoin, how it just broke over that resistance level and all of a sudden, boom, you see like a $5,000 candle almost on Bitcoin, which is pretty crazy for a project that has $2 trillion in market cap. So as we look at XRP, I do think that once we break over that $2.90 level, the all-time high from 2017, 2018 gets quickly retested. But I do think that XRP is close to the bottom on this pullback, already having over a 20% pullback. Could it go much deeper? Yes, it can. I wouldn't, write off the idea of a potential like 32% pullback back down to like the 2021 high. It's a possibility. Should we be expecting it? Not exactly, but it is definitely a possibility, especially if you look at, the recent price action. I mean, if we just go back to September into October, I mean, look at this pullback. This was, a 23, almost 24% pullback, but the total pullback here was almost like 27%. Then we also have back here in July. Like, this is why I say, like, we already went through some very significant pullbacks this year already. This is a 34% pullback. If we go all the way back here to March into the summer, I mean, this is why I say it was brutal to be an altcoin holder. This was almost like a 50% pullback. So we shouldn't be concerned at all by like a 20 to like 30 some percent pullback. In fact, we should actually welcome it for any buy opportunities if we wanted to add to our bag and so forth. So is XRP's run finished? Absolutely not. In fact, I think that, we are about to witness a much larger move on altcoins once we start to see Bitcoin dominance continue to the bottom. And, Bitcoin definitely did break a big psychological level. So I'm actually very bullish on the market for the next few weeks. So with that being said, if you guys did enjoy this video, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.